I feel like 90% of everything I know about business comes from playing RuneScape and other games like that. Why do you think that gamer side of your brain is getting so activated inside the Skool platform?
The thing about RuneScape is that it's a game where you log in and you do whatever you want. There's so many different paths you can go down. There's so many different areas where you can spend your time, energy, money. And Skool is very similar. It's like you can go on Skool and like pretty much do whatever. And so I was reflecting recently on why I think I became so successful on RuneScape, and then how I've been applying those methods I use in RuneScape onto Skool to also become successful. And it came down to three things. It was like, I just loved what I did each day. Like on RuneScape, I just purely did what I loved every single day. And on Skool, I just purely do what I love every day. And then I loved how I did it. So I loved actually how I was doing it. It wasn't just like what I was doing, but I loved how I did it. And then thirdly, you could see a number. Like on RuneScape, I got XP points. So that number kept going up every time I did something. So I climbed the leaderboards more and more and more. With every single action I did, I saw the number go up. And so on Skool, it's like you can see the number go up as well. You can see the number of your monthly recurring revenue go up. You can see the number of new Skool users go up. You can see the number of the new posts that you've contributed. You can see your own points on the leaderboard. So there's just like numbers that you can actually see objectively go up. So you can actually track progress rather than it just being all in your head and kind of being ephemeral. It's like right there. It's real. It's being stacked.
And it's really interesting because I feel like in my own life, whenever I channeled that like gamer energy into entrepreneurship, it's the first time I started to feel like I was getting traction or success in any area of my life, because it felt like a game to me. And even now, people like my mates who aren't in business and they've got normal jobs, they're like, you love your job so much. Like, why do you love it? And I'm like, dude, it's basically just going out and playing real world RuneScape every day. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can go do what you want, talk to who you want. You can go here, you can go there, you can make deals, you can make money this way. It's like, whoa, I didn't know I could make money this way. That's really interesting. Let me go really hard into this for 2 months. And it's just fun.
It's just fun. Yeah. Yeah. At this point, I'm very blessed to be able to say what I'm about to say. And that is, it's not even about making the money anymore. The money is just one way of measuring points in the game. Another, what's worth more to me though than the money in the game is when I get a success story from a client or testimonial. That to me is like worth like way more than a PIF, way more than a high ticket sale. I get a testimonial success story from a client. I'm like, that is what it's all about. That is so rewarding. And again, it's just like a prize in the game. It's a big reward.
You'd love a guy. You ever heard of Dan Sullivan?
Yo, I love that guy, bro.
Dude, so many things you've said so far are just like, I'm like, yeah, there's so many Sullivanisms in this. Do you know what I mean? Like at the top of the call, you were talking about how, you've a low threshold for doing things you don't like. He talks about procrastination as a form of wisdom. And it's like, if you find that you're procrastinating on something, it's actually your internal psyche being like, bro, this ain't your thing. Just don't bother.
Bro, think about this. Think about this. Think about this. Right, let's pause right now and think about this. Did you ever procrastinate playing a game that you loved?
Never. Dude, I mean, I would go back to RuneScape. I would like RuneScape. I'm glad it actually wasn't on mobile phones back then, because game over. I would not have done one lick of work in my life.
1000%, bro. There's no procrastinating when you're playing a game that you love. And so, yeah, I love that. Seeing procrastination as a wisdom.
Yeah.
Huge.
And so, okay, the game you love, what is the game you love? Condense it down. Like, what are you and what are you doing on Skool? What's the game that you're playing and why do you love it?
I guess there's games within the game. Like we said, like on RuneScape, you can come in and do whatever you want. You could either level up fire making or level up your strength or level up your agility and all sorts of different games within. There's even Castle Wars you can play within RuneScape, right? There's like all sorts of games. You can get rich and get strong, whatever. And on Skool, I think one of the funnest games for me is constantly trying to crack this ever-changing code on how do I get someone who's suffering from something or struggling with something to then no longer struggle, no longer suffer with it? How do I get them the result they're actually looking for? So if someone comes in there and they're like, they don't know how to get clients, they don't even know how to upload content or where to put it or anything, they just want to make money online, but they're starting from nothing. How can I get them to go from not knowing how to actually being able to make the money online. And that's a game, you play with beginners, and it's very difficult because beginners have a whole bunch of different limiting beliefs and objections and like fears about not looking good on camera and no one's going to want to buy from me and all these different
My voice. I hate my voice.
Oh yeah, totally. I got a British accent. No one's going to want to buy from me. So there's like the beginner game, but then there's the game which I feel like a lot easier and sometimes even more fulfilling, oddly enough, which is helping somebody go from 10K a month to 100K a month, or helping somebody go from 100K a month to 300K a month. Like it's like I said, it's oddly easier and funner sometimes to work with those people because you're not dealing with just the most elementary, rudimentary, fundamentally simple objections of like, I don't look good on camera. It's more like I'm having a hard time hiring this person, or I'm not sure if I can give up control over the whole business and actually delegate the sales calls out, or my sales rep isn't closing well. How do I train them to be better at objection handling or getting more painfuls? Like it's more nuanced, more intricate problems that you're solving at that higher level that is super fun for me to play. I like playing that game.
Yeah. And I mean, at that level, you're dealing with people who've done the hard work. They know their niche. They've got skin in the game. They've overcome, they've killed kind of the first 4 or 5 levels of bosses. Now they're ready to start going after the bigger stuff. And you're like, dude, I have a sword for you. You're going to love this. Take this. Or like, dude, this potion right here, this potion here will 10x what you're doing. Just take it.
100%, bro. Yep. Yeah. So I guess it's the game of getting clients' results. Yes.
One of my favorite quotes ever, and I'll somehow find a way to land this plane. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I want to share this quote with you anyway. It's by a guy called Joseph Campbell, and he says, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek." And I think a lot of people, you're talking about, oh, I don't like the sound of my voice, or, oh, I've never made money online. That's the cave that they need to enter. What's your cave? Like, what are you currently entering into now that's going to take you to the next level?
It's a really good question. The cave I'm entering. One thing that I'm doing, I guess, that's kind of scary, is I talked with the team, right? And right now, I'm like the coach of the team, the owner of the team, and I'm the captain of the team. But I'm trying to move away so that I'm not even the captain of the team anymore. I'm trying to move away so I'm not even the coach anymore. I'm trying to get to the place where I'm just the owner.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to level people up within the company and the organization and be like, yo, you're the head coach, you're the head captain, and I'm stepping away, which, it requires a lot of trust in people. It requires training them to be very, very good. And it requires paying them way more. So I'd be taking a big pay cut. But by that point, hopefully we're just making so much more. But that's kind of the path I'm going. And I guess that's sort of scary, giving up those 2 statuses of captain and coach.
Dude, that is the answer that we were looking for. So well done. You said the correct answer. Final question, Ted. For people who are just starting out on Skool and you've got a couple of minutes of their time, what's the most important thing you can share with them?
Depends if we're talking free community or paid community, but that's tip number 1, I guess. I recommend having both. Have a free community and have a paid community. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is remember, or at least understand this, if you've never even heard this before, but nobody gives a SHIT about your community until they're in it. So don't try to tell people about your free community and expect them to join. Don't be like, hey guys, I just started this new community, but nobody cares. Instead, tell them about what they can get by joining. And in fact, you don't even need to mention the word join. You can just say, hey guys, I just put together this new training on how to blow up your podcast. Check it out. It's right here. And they're like, where's here? And they click and it takes them to the Skool community. Like let the community be an afterthought. Once they're in it, then you'd be like, cool, welcome to the community. You're going to love it here. Here's why, boom, 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 boom. And then with the paid community, a huge hack is telling people that, hey, you just built this thing, or you're going to do this thing, this workshop, or this 3-day challenge, or this 30-day mastermind, or whatever you're doing. And you tell them, you say, hey, look, I'm going to sell this for let's just say $500, or you can get it for just $50 when you sign up here. And that $50 is $50 a month when they join your Skool community. So just putting that price anchor on things, it makes the $50 a month be like a no-brainer. And again, it allows you to not even have to mention the community. You don't say, join my $50 a month community. You say, hey, just put together this epic training. I'm going to sell it for $500, but if you don't want it for $500, you get it for $50 right here. So that works really, really well. I guess a last tip I'd give is if you're trying to sell your low-ticket community, you want more MRR from your low-ticket community, I recommend having a high-ticket product still, and then whoever can't afford the high-ticket product on the phone, whoever it's not a good fit for necessarily, or just can't afford it, whatever, I'd say, cool, well, it can still hold that discount for you if you want to just put down a $50 a month deposit. So they all put down a $50 a month deposit. Cool, send them the Skool link. Now they're in your community as a deposit for the thing they really wanted.
Wow.
Because we used to try and be like, oh, I know you can't afford the high ticket thing, but how about this low ticket thing instead? And they're like, no, I want the high ticket thing. So now we're like, okay, cool, you're still gonna get it, you're just gonna put it on deposit. And now they're paying monthly for a deposit for that thing they really want.
And all the while, you're adding value, you're giving benefits, you're warming them up, and everyone wins.
And every phone call we take is a close. Crushes.
Ted, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for everything you shared. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, man. Thanks, bud. Thank you very much.